Hey everyone, it's your host, Paladin Hansen here, back at it again with another video. Today we'll be flying out, traveling across the continental United States. We're going to be heading to the good old state of Tennessee. We're going to be flying into Nashville, heading around to Jack Daniels Distillery in the Cumberland and checking out Chattanooga further southeast. And then we're going to make our way up northeast into Knoxville and see the Great Smoky Mountains, and then head back home to good old SoCal here in California. For our part 2 episode, we'll be starting off our trip right here at the local restaurant at my Marriott hotel where we are staying in downtown Nashville. Had to get myself, of course, for the long drive ahead, we're going to be traveling everywhere. I had to get myself a cup of coffee, had to pour in a little creamer, of course, a little bit of cream for me personally, and of course you have to have sweet and low, and it has to be the pink sweet and low. Okay, if you're a real OG and you're a real one, you get the pink sweet and low because it is the good. And so I had to have that for breakfast, and it was delicious. There's me sipping on it right there. Oh yes.
Thank you so much.
And of course for breakfast I had an egg omelet with a side of hash browns and a little salad on the side. The omelet was absolutely fantastic. I really love using that word absolutely. I think you guys can tell by now I use it all the time. I probably have to find a new word, but this egg omelet was incredible. And so I highly recommend that if you come to Nashville, I think I was staying at a Marriott, Marriott Regal or some Marriott Renaissance.
That is the smallest Tabasco bottle I've ever seen in my life. Wow. It's not even the size of the palm of my hand. That's awesome.
I mean, it's smaller than the palm of my hand. And so I think it's pretty, or it's like 3.7 milliliters, not 37, but 3.7 milliliters. And yeah, and so we're just going to drive down and hit Sewanee. Here we are, guys. We're at the good old town of Sewanee. As you guys can see, there's the All Saints Chapel. You guys probably have seen this in a lot of places, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And so we're going to make our way around Sewanee and check out Sewanee. And it's modeled after Cambridge, so I'll stop talking and cut to the chase of me walking around and viewing what I view. We traveled south from Nashville down here to Chattanooga, essentially. And we're just visiting the really cool architecture here, as I want to show you guys these buildings. Absolutely incredible. Look at that. Such fantastic architectural design. So here we are, we're at Sewanee, absolutely gorgeous place. Had to go back to the car to get my face mask, but very nice here. It's modeled after Cambridge in England, and we're in the middle of Tennessee, which is kind of unique. So you would never expect this really all too much in most places in the US. But except for here in Tennessee, of course my face mask is a little lopsided, but absolutely gorgeous here. And I don't go here. I don't go to Sewanee, but we're looking at houses near here, and it's quite gorgeous. Modeled after Cambridge. As I was walking around Sewanee, I wanted to head into this large chapel. It's called All Saints Chapel. As you can see here, it is something to awe at. I'm pretty sure this is an Anglican or an Episcopalian church. Could be wrong. I mean, there's so many Protestant denominations around today. It's just hard to keep track of. But the architecture here, it's just something to marvel at. And it is just beautiful. I really like it. There was actually, when I was walking in, there was a woman singing, and she had a voice of an angel. It was amazing. And as you can see, it's just a really big church. Here's a little chapel right here, St. Augustine's Chapel. This church is so big, it's got chapels in the side of it. As you can see here, we're walking in, very dark, so the footage might be a little grainy, but Canon M50s don't really do all too well in low light conditions, which is the camera I'm using. But here you can see a little altar, and in this little chapel. It's like a little chapel on the left wing of the building, and it's just a massive place. I'm sure could fit probably 1,000 people in here at least, and it is just marvelous to be here. I bet the people here at Sewanee are truly blessed. Here's the little, I'm pretty sure this is a little place to baptize infants right here. They put holy water right there to do baptisms for infants. At least I'm sure, if I'm not mistaken. But here I pan around, as you can see, all the chairs. Easily, you know, 1,000 people could fit in this church. Probably the largest church I've ever been in my life. And I haven't been to many churches, so don't quote me on that. I decided to walk outside, and I saw this little squirrel right here. Again, I said when I find an animal, I'm going to make sure I get some footage of it. And here is I'm pretty sure it's a brown squirrel, a gray squirrel. And very common here in America to have this animal, this pesky little rodent. It's halfway between a mouse and a cat. That's what I view squirrels as. And here it's right next to, I think, a little cherry tree or a little cherry bush. I don't even know what that bush is, but yeah, right here at the Sewanee. And look at it, he's trying to ball me. He's trying to, like, yo, you're getting a little too close, bud. I love it. All right, guys, here we are at Greens View Point, right next to Sewanee. Absolutely gorgeous here, and I'm going to show you the view. It's absolutely stellar, as you can see. Look at that view, guys. I'm going to set up the camera real quick. I'll get right back to you. All right, guys, I don't know if you guys could hear that audio. The wind was kind of blocking, but we came from Sewanee. We're not too far. It's like a 5-minute drive from the campus, and we're here over at Greens View Point here on here in the Cumberland, overlooking Middle Tennessee and parts of the Cumberland Plateau. And as you can see, as I zoom in just a little bit, there's the mountains. The mountains here in the Cumberland are around 1,500 feet on average. So just over a mountain. Technically, a mountain has to be over 1,000 feet to be considered a mountain, but we're overlooking Middle Tennessee, and you know, I think Arnold or some Air Force base is, you know, somewhere out there in the distance. But yeah, pretty cool. Take a picture here, get some shots. You know, that's what I did. So definitely come here if you want to get a cool little picture in Tennessee on the Cumberland. Sewanee, baby. Yeah. On my way here, I was actually spotting Bigfoot signs everywhere. And did you just see it? Did you just see it right there? Boom, there it is again. I just found Bigfoot. Oh my goodness. What the? You guys, we just found Bigfoot. We just saw him. He was right there. All jokes aside, this is a really cool place. I mean, this is where essentially Middle Tennessee meets East Tennessee. The Cumberland, it's kind of the barrier, the final areas of East Tennessee, and then as you can see, we pan out to the plains, and that's Middle Tennessee now. So what we're gonna do now is actually head right back out into Middle Tennessee from where we came. We came from Nashville, but we actually have a trip to Jack Daniels Distillery today. So I'm gonna take one last selfie, and then let's hit Jack Daniels. All right, guys, here we are at the Jack Daniels Distillery here in Lynchburg, Tennessee. Let me show you guys. See? Jack Daniels. We're gonna check it out. The pour doesn't start for another hour. So we're gonna walk around and check out the sights. There's a little river somewhere over there. So we're gonna check out the river and the creek flowing through. What's really cool is This is the largest distillery in the world, and it's kind of ironic because this is a dry county, and so it's kind of funny that the largest distillery in the world is a dry county. But it's absolutely gorgeous out here. We're gonna go take some pictures of the creek and of the river. There's a little trail over yonder, so we're gonna check out the river, and then we'll wait a half hour or so, head over to the distillery. But we're gonna go take some video and some pictures. Should be nice. Alright guys, here we are next to the river, the waterway that they use here at Jack Daniels, and let's take some shots. As you can see here, just wanted to set up the tripod real quick and take some footage. I could literally just stare at like a river or water all day. I love a moving river, especially when I come from California. We have most of our rivers are ephemeral most of the year, so that means they're just temporary, and when it does rain in California, it's short and quick. And, you know, you grew up in I live here in SoCal, so you know, having that type of rivers like this is pretty awesome to see and to have. And of course, you know, I'm just looking over, and for me, like, all of this water is so awesome, you know, because California is just so dry. So being in Tennessee, you know, it rains more than the state of Washington. A lot of people, you know, consider Washington the rainy state. No, Tennessee has more rain than Washington. So having all this water here is pretty cool. Alright guys, so we just walked inside the front desk area, the little lobby area. Some cool stuff you can see here. The world comes to Lynchburg, eh? And so this is the mecca for whiskey right here. This is the epicenter for whiskey production. This is the largest distillery in the world, guys. I highly recommend you come here. Don't come in here thinking you're gonna rob the place, because there is armed guards everywhere to protect all the valuable whiskey. This is a worldwide operation, folks. I mean, some cool stuff. Now, a lot of the places were closed off. I thought I would be able to film more, but they actually keep things secret. But that cave right there that I'm looking at, that's actually the cave that produces the water that comes through the limestone that creates the water from the distillery. And there's Jack Daniels right there. Now, what's surprising is Jack Daniels was only like 5'3", guys. He was a short man. But there's a cave back there. They blocked it off because they had some rocks falling, and so they blocked it off. You can see the little gate right there. But beautiful little area right here at the Jack Daniels Distillery. Here's the water, as you can see right here. I just wanted to let it run for about for a few seconds. It's just gorgeous here, and I highly recommend that you guys check out Jack Daniels Distillery. Here again, I get another angle looking into that cave, but it's blocked off. Typically, you can walk in there. Here's one of the large distillery areas. Again, very, very cool place. Very loud. Okay, everything's moving, running. You got water running. You got distilleries pumping. You got it's quite cool. This is definitely a place to come to. I mean, it's the largest distillery in the world, guys. So if you're a whiskey guy, I know a lot of you Irish and Scots people are probably like, this is like on your bucket list. This is one of the holy grails to come to good old Number 7 Distillery here in Lynchburg, Tennessee. I mean, this is it when it comes to whiskey making.